Hello, this is Nintendo 14, playthrough on Pikmin 2, part 31. In the last part, we started up the Cavern of Chaos, and in this part we're going to continue more of it, actually finish it. So, right off the bat, I'm going to just say that this is post-commentary. I wish I could have done a pre-commentary or live commentary, but, if I did a live commentary, then I wouldn't have been able to get everything that I wanted to explain through, which has happened since parts 30 to from 31, because I did take a little break, or should I say like half a week break. So not only that, well, I kind of mentioned this. I will mention this in my 30-second part, which I did record before this. But I do mention that I do get sick in the next part, but that's one of the reasons why I wasn't able to record as I wanted to, and keep a consistent schedule of this playthrough. So once that was finally over and flu season, I'm pretty sure flu season for me is almost over, and maybe some people are starting to get it as well. So it's passing on and it's kind of going, but my side of the flu season's over. So luckily, there shouldn't be any more issues why there shouldn't be any recordings, maybe due to school or a lack of uploadings. So another thing I wanted to talk about is the Super Smash Bros. Brawl anniversary video that I planned on doing on the 9th of March, but that got scrapped because I just went down with the fever, like seriously went down with the fever. That and my sister wanted me to go with her to watch over my niece and nephew, which is really not a good timing, but she wanted me to go with her just so she can kind of like bear with them, and just she wanted me to help her out with it. So I went over, so I helped her out, and I went with her to watch over my niece and nephew, and surprise, surprise, I got sick again after that. So, well, I didn't really feel sick after that, but the next morning I was actually going to get ready to go to the NASCAR race at Las Vegas, Cobalt Tools 400. For those who watched that race, it was kind of disappointing for Junior Nation. Just a half lap short from winning that race, and you just ran out of fuel, and then instead Brad Keselowski takes the checkered flag. And because of me getting sick, I missed out. And the best part was the tickets were free, so it wasn't a huge loss. I mean, 50 tickets just so I can get sick and miss out on that would suck. But let's just hope that doesn't happen this week, because I actually plan on going, because I missed that race. My dad's gonna give me another opportunity to go to the NASCAR race by going over to Fontana. So hopefully I'll be healthy to go to that race, because this time we're actually gonna have to pay for the race. And keep in mind the Las Vegas race, my bro's in the military, so he was able to hook us up with some tickets for free, so that was pretty cool. So let's see here. I think that was all I really had to talk about. Actually, as for the Super Smash Bros. Brawl video, I'm actually going to move that back. There is another release date for Super Smash Bros. Brawl. It's around June June 26th through to the 27th. That's the release of the European release of Super Smash Bros. Brawl, as well as the Australian release date, which is the next day after that. So maybe I'll do an anniversary video on that, just so I can celebrate, just have some sort of celebration of Super Smash Bros. Because I really liked my concept of what I wanted to do for the Super Smash Bros. Video. I'm not gonna go over exactly what I'm going to have for the Super Smash Bros. Special, but once it's out, then yeah, everything will be released. So until then, I'll just keep my mouth shut about the Super Smash Bros. Brawl special video that I plan on having. So enough about all that. Now here's the part where I actually have to post commentate, and here's the reason why I should have just post commentated, but it would have been real difficult doing that just by killing all these dwarf bulbarbs, because if you haven't guessed by now, this sublevel in the Cavern of Chaos, it's sublevel 8 in this cave is full of dwarf bulbarbs, and you could pretty much make some nasty massacres if you have a lot of purple Pikmin. And you can clearly tell that I'm doing this post commentary because of all the cuts and all the blinks. I really wish I could fix that. I mean, I want to figure out why it's making that blinks. Maybe it's because of that way I edit, and there's like this auto snap-on between clips. But maybe I'll try and do some experiments, and maybe I'll try and sort things out. If I can't, then I guess we're gonna have to stick with the blinks between cuts. So that's gonna be unfortunate to have to deal with that. Or maybe hopefully I can get another editing software, or I don't know, maybe is it the editing software, or is it my computer? I hope it's not my computer, and hope none of this computer, me like just moving the computer and stuff for whatever reason, is making noise in the microphone. And speaking of the microphone, I do have it adjusted. When it comes to microphones without pop filters, it's not the best to speak directly into the mic. It's best to just speak from like the side or so that way there's no pop, and it's the best way to just commentate as close as you can without getting it to pop. It's not the loudest, but at least it's the best quality you can get with the cheap mic like this. It's still that the Rock Band 2 microphone that came with the game. So hey, if you play Rock Band 2 and you still got that singing mic that your friends use to humiliate and just embarrass themselves with that singing mic, hey, you could use it to commentate your YouTube videos with. Pretty smart, hey? So for this sublevel, it may look very difficult, but really, if you have enough white Pikmin, you can actually just use your white Pikmin to just sneak all the treasures by, as you're seeing me do right now. So you don't need to fight the enemies in here, but if you don't have any whites, or well, you should have whites, but if you don't really have a lot of whites like I do, say if you have just 15, you might be better off just trying to get your blues and fight off the enemies here. But since I have enough whites, you can pretty much just speed the treasure right through the enemies like this, so they're not gonna have enough time to drop a bomb rock and blow up the Pikmin, because they'll be right past them before that even happens. So that's a good tip for this sublevel in this cave. So we got ourselves a thingy. I realize this is the video that I'm commentating on, and I can't do anything about it. I'm just watching myself play. So I'm gonna get the yellows here. I'm gonna make sure they don't carry the things, and so that way they don't go into my party. So I can go into this with whites only, so I can get the maximum speed for this treasure that looks like a condom or something. Right? Yeah, it's usually like that pacifier thing that babies use to drink out of. So up that goes, right into the ship. Guess the ship just doesn't care about what, it just goes up. So that's it for the sublevel. It's really a quick sublevel if you plan out everything as quick as I did. But we're approaching the final sublevel in the Cavern of Chaos. Thank goodness, because I was just out of stuff to talk about, and so I made a quick cut there so I can adjust my Pikmin. And you want to treat this thing like it's a BD Longlegs of some sort, by just leaving your Pikmin there and just force it to come out by just your Pikmin. And just a quick tip, you don't want to use slow Pikmin like purple Pikmin or any Pikmin with leaves. You want to have the fastest Pikmin. It's recommended if you use whites on this Pikmin, or if you don't have any spicy sprays, then white Pikmin is your best option. But if you do have a lot of sprays like I do, you can just keep using them, and you can use them on your reds and purples, but you gotta make sure your sprays are still up, just in case if they run out while you're running from its rolling attack, because that's the most critical thing you gotta worry about, because his rolling attack it has no limits. It has the potential to wipe out your entire squad of Pikmin. And here I make a quick change. I swap out the purples for some yellows, because the yellows can reach higher and maybe get to the core that kills this thing a lot easier. So I make the switch to just red, yellows, and whites, because they are a lot versatile. Reds deal a little bit more damage without slowing it down too much. Yellows, they can reach a lot higher, and whites are a lot faster. So that's a pretty good trio combo to fight this boss right here. So that ultimately leads me to defeat this boss. Really, you could just use purples, but it's a lot safe just to go without the purples. And here I try to whistle, but they just didn't listen. Maybe I didn't. Maybe I just barely missed. They just barely missed the whistle. And here the Pikmin were kind of doomed here, because they are almost doomed, because the leaves. This Pikmin, if you don't try and whistle him back, then this boss, I forget what boss it is. Maybe I'll annotate it when this video gets uploaded, whenever it does. I hope I can upload it tonight, because I'm recording this today. It's 4:19 p.m. Or Pacific Standard Time. I live in Nevada, so that's why it's Pacific time. And so he's gonna do his rolling attack again. This is what ultimately makes me lose a lot of Pikmin, just because of that rolling attack. Not so much from the boulders. Well, actually, later on there's gonna be an incident where the boulders actually create a mass murder of Pikmin. So if later on there will be nectar that you can pick up if you want to replenish your flowers, so that way they don't slow you down as much when you're not using the spicy sprays. But I wouldn't suggest going after them right away. And oh dang, that's the part where I lost all the Pikmin. I just made my move way too soon. I end up losing a lot of white Pikmin. I think I lost a lot more white Pikmin than I did with reds or yellows. There I go. I almost said whites again, but this time I said yellows correctly. So this boss is almost done. We just need one more cycle. I actually have some trouble trying to get this thing to hit a wall, which kind of reminds me of some other boss, but I can't really remember it. Maybe what was it? It's definitely not Top Man from Super Mario Galaxy. It's not that similar, but if I can think of anything of how similar this boss is, then maybe I'll annotate that too. I usually like to annotate. I like annotating more, but I don't know, it doesn't seem as professional as just annotating with your editing software. So turns out I need another cycle just to take this thing down, because I had just a sliver of health just to survive, and I just lost like, I think I entered the sublevel. I entered the sublevel with 90 Pikmin. Now I have 60, so I just lost 30 Pikmin, which was not cool. So I'm going to have Olimar wait by the geyser and have the president stand by with all of our Pikmin. No reason why, but just do something while I wait for the treasure to get back here. The silencer is a baby head. Not sure if that's supposed to be some ironic name, because the babies are never quiet. They always yell and scream and ask you to get some snacks from the pantry, especially if their favorite snack is on top of the shelf. I mean, why would it be on top of the shelves? I mean, the parents put it up on top of the shelf, and then obviously they don't want it to get the snack. But anyways, we're out of the cave finally, and hopefully I don't have to do any more post commentaries, because I don't really enjoy post commentary, but I'm fine with maybe the shorter videos that have to post commentary. But a 16 and a half minute long video that I have to post commentary the entire way, just if you don't really have that much to talk about, then it's gonna be one long video. It's gonna feel like a long video just to commentate. But I take the time, just a little time, to reflowerize just a little bit, maybe get that rock out of the way, so that way they don't break it every time I go through. So I'm just gonna call it sunset. There's not much we can do in the Wistful Wild other than go into the last two caves, the Hole of Heroes and the Dream Den. But I think we're going to save that for later because, if you can remember, there are a few things in the perplexing pool that we have to take care of. We have 4 ship parts. One that's underground by the shower room, which is the last cave that we have to enter. And see here, we have that another treasure that we need to get back at the submerged castle, which is, well, we knocked it down, so we don't have to worry about the puzzle with 2 captains, so we can easily take that down. But in that video, well, I'm not. Should I spoil? Yeah, why not? Just spoil it. So there was, when I returned back into the perplexing pool, all the enemies respawned. So there's gonna be a lot of cutting in the next episode and episode part. So there's gonna be a lot of gaps. There could be like this one section in the next video where I don't commentate. I wish I did commentate that part, but might actually just have to go through with just one minute or so without my commentary. So I just want to make sure that I get everything in the video. So that's gonna be it for this part 2. Next time for part 31 or 32 as I return to the perplexing pool. So see you guys then.